I came home one night, Monday, after a long day at work, in the shambles that is my job, the absolute chaos. And for whatever reason, I just decided to start watching House of the Dragon. There's 10 episodes. And I'm like, but Game of Thrones, I'll probably, watch it and, move on. And like, I watch it, and like, you like a show when you're still up at 4 in the morning. So I watched all 10 episodes this weekend, or this week, and I finished the last two episodes today. And I was going to talk about the first season because the new season is not fully out yet. It's only 4 episodes in, 5 with tomorrow. And it's basically set 127 years before the Game of Thrones. It's a prequel,
Mhm.
and it's the whole premise, the entire core plot of the story, is a simple fact that Viserys Targaryen is the king, and he has no legitimate heir to the throne. And all the houses are. If you guys don't know how old medieval stuff worked, the king had his kingdom, and he had vassals that had their own houses that were basically also royalty, but they're not on his level. And they would swear fealty to whoever the king was. And so you had the king, then you had various like houses, which were families that had like a lot of land, a lot of wealth, a lot of soldiers and all that, and they would swear their allegiance to whatever king. That's how it worked, I guess, in medieval times. I'm assuming I wasn't born there. I would probably be the Genghis Khan time, getting fucking raided, whole village fucking destroyed. And so that's how it works in House of the Dragon. The king has the power, and he's like the royalty over all of the country called Westeros. And all these various houses, families, basically, swear fealty to him, but they're all worried that there's no legitimate heir to the throne, so that might cause a bit of tension when he dies. So he only has one daughter named Rhaenyra, and he's got no sons. And it's still that time where like it's the male that they look to be the leader, not the female. So his wife dies giving birth. Like she's had like 5 attempts, all stillborn, all miscarriages. Every single one of them dies, and she dies in childbirth because this maester comes in, which is their version of a doctor. He's like, there's this new technique where you slice the woman's stomach open and you pull the baby out. Like, will the woman survive? He's like, no, she'll bleed the fuck out. And she didn't say that, but that's basically what he meant.
Yeah.
Like, they had no fucking solution to fucking, save the wife. And so she ends up dying in her fifth attempt at childbirth. So now he's left with no wife and no legitimate heir. So he's got no choice. Viserys finally decides to name Rhaenyra the heir to the Iron Throne. And the Iron Throne was the throne created by the Targaryens when they first came from a country called Valyria that was destroyed in something called the Doom. They never said what it was, but the whole country just collapsed. And Valyria was the most powerful country in all of, I guess, the Game of Thrones. I don't know what the actual world is called, because Westeros is one country. So it's not called Westeros, the whole planet. But they came from Valyria years ago. And the Targaryens and another family called the Villanors? I can't remember. They were the only ones with dragons because the country Valyria had dragons, and so that's why they were so powerful. That was like the two most powerful. Well, not even the Targaryens weren't even the most powerful family in Valyria. The other family was stronger with more dragons. Both families came to Westeros. They conquered the country with their dragons. They took all the blades of the conquered houses and they turned them into a throne. Just the Iron Throne, just swords all over, just fucking mangled swords everywhere. And allegedly, if you were an unfit king for the throne, the throne itself would cut you. And you actually see a moment where Viserys gets a little cut on his pinky for one of the blades. He's like, "Oh, motherfucker. I'd have fucking sanded that bitch down if I was being honest." So he names his daughter heir, and he has all the houses come to the King's Landing, the capital, and swear fealty to her, and take the bend the knee. The famous bending the knee. They all agree to bend the knee and acknowledge her as the heir apparent. So the reason the series gets fucked up is that Viserys has to take a new queen. So he ends up marrying Rhaenyra Targaryen, his daughter, his fucking 15-year-old daughter's best friend, Alicent Hightower, who's also 15. They were going to marry him with a 12-year-old earlier.
Oh.
He's like, nah, we got nothing in common. And so he marries Hightower, who was the daughter of the Hand. The Hand is uh, the second most powerful person in Westeros. He is the advisor to the King. They're called the Hand. And then of course they have their little small council, like the guy that oversees the treasury, the guy that oversees the navy, commerce, all this stuff. And so he ends up marrying Alicent, and he tells her right in front of her daughter and his daughter. She loses. She doesn't say anything, but she can tell the expression. She's like, "What the fuck? That's the most fucked up shit you can possibly do." And so he ends up having three kids with Alicent, and Aegon, Aemon, and a girl. Which I think is like Hellaretta. I forget her name because they don't really feature her very often. And so now, everyone thinks that Aegon, being the half brother to Rhaenyra and being a male, should actually inherit the throne over her. But he's already
named her
named the heir apparent.
Right.
So he's not going to back out. He's not going to do that to his daughter and back out on his word. And one of the overarching problems throughout the whole season is that Viserys also has a form of leprosy. So like from episode 1 to episode fucking like 8, he's fucking falling apart before your very eyes. Like he's getting leech, like he's getting like fucking like open sores that won't heal. They do it very well because in the very first episode, he's got a really tiny like skin lesion on his back, and the doctors are looking at him like, we can try to cauterize it. He's like, do whatever you got to do. And like then it gets real bad back in like episode 8. He's like fucking in bed, like fucking teeth missing. He lost an eyeball. Fucking half of his fucking right looks like fucking Scarface. Like, he's got like a hole in his cheek, like on his right side, and missing eyeball. And he has to cover it with like a gold mask. And he's never out of bed. He's always laying in bed, like fucking teeth are black. He looks like he weighs 47 pounds. Like he's like this is. I'm like, this is the king. Doesn't look like a king to me. And another thing is that he has a brother named Daemon, who a lot of people thought he would have been the heir apparent if he couldn't find a son, but because his daughter named his daughter heir apparent, Daemon was never accepted by the small council because they thought he was too brash and like unpredictable, and he was. He's a wild child. He likes to fight and fuck and all sorts of stuff, and he would have not been fit for a king.
So like Jaime
Lannister.
Yeah, just likes to fight, fuck.
Basically, yeah. Just like to fuck his sisters. What he likes to do. And actually, later in the season, Daemon marries Rhaenyra, his niece.
See,
like there you go. Like everyone's always fucking. I swear, I was like every relative is always banging each other. Like half of the fucking families like related. Like half of the families fucking wed to each other. Like cousins and fucking sisters and nieces. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
So like old royalty.
Basically, yeah. It turned into making a monster. Like I had like 15 generations come out looking like a black ooze. And so now the Otto Hightower, the Hand, has always wanted Alicent's son, Aegon, to be king. And then he gets it into Alicent's head that now that the royal families, now that the houses know that there's a son, they're not going to bend the knee to Rhaenyra. Right. So they freak out. And they worry that in order for Rhaenyra to legitimize her claim, she's going to kill her half-brothers so that there'd be no other heir.
Right.
So they'd have no choice but to swear fealty to her. So that's what Alicent thinks, or that's what she gets put in her head. Rhaenyra, on the other hand, does the dumbest thing she could possibly do. She marries she marries the other Targaryen family, the other house, and with their dragons. And she marries their son because her cousin Rhaena was going to be like back before this all happened. Viserys was named king by the king before that because that king didn't have a legitimate heir, and there was a contention between him, Viserys, and his cousin. I want to say Rhaenyra is like it's like the same name, Rhaenyra, but not like the at the end. So it's like her it's his cousin Rhaenyra. And so they call her the queen without the throne, or the queen without the crown. And so she marries her son So it's her cousin basically, but he's gay, and he's just all about the boys.
Like, what's his name?
That one Baratheon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember. It wasn't Stannis. It was the younger, the third brother.
Yeah, the third one.
He had his rainbow guard.
Yes.
Yeah. So they I don't understand the fucking. So she decides to sleep with the commander of the watch, this like super fucking built guy, right? Has all 3 kids with him. You can clearly tell they're his kids, and because they got black hair, black as the night. Rhaenyra's hair is white, and then her cousin's hair is also is gray, because their family like got gray hair.
Yeah.
So like they don't, and he's like he's mixed, like he's half black, half white. Her husband, her husband cousin, and all these kids are fully white. Like everyone can tell, everyone but the king knows full way. They even say that throughout the whole the ending of like the last couple episodes. Everybody but the king knows that these kids are not legitimate heirs to the Iron Throne. I don't know why she thought that was like, it's so stupid. She like completely destroyed her legitimacy to the throne by not having appropriate heirs with her husband. All he had to do was stick his dick in her and, have a couple kids. But instead they fucked up, and now she's got 3 illegitimate, like basically like it was Jaime Lannister and Cersei. 3 kids that are not the king's kids.
Right.
So 3 kids that are not the king consorts, because he's the consort. He wouldn't be the king. He'd be the consort, and she would be the queen. But these kids are not legitimate heirs.
But if they're her kids, wouldn't they still technically be?
That's what I keep thinking, but apparently not, because they're bastards. Because they're not her actual husbands, so he can't claim them. Like he can claim them, but he can't. So that would dispute her claim to the throne in everyone else's eyes. Like you got to be like, bastards don't count apparently. And so Alicent knows this. So they split off into 2 groups. It's the blacks, Rhaenyra's side, and the greens on Alicent Hightower's side, with her legitimate kids to the king, Aegon and Aemond. So, but technically they do have the claim, even though she's named queen.
Mm-hmm.
Her being her having the son Aegon is more in line with their customs in Westeros of males being kings,
right,
or males being on the throne.
And he's an actual legitimate son of the king.
He's got the blonde hair. Yeah, he looks deadly. By the way, one time his mom caught him jacking off, like he was standing straight, like he was doing the Homelander thing, like
oh, it's odd.
But he was butt naked he was standing outside the windowsill, right, and he's just fucking going off on himself. He's like, this is the life. Like he's overlooking the whole city, right? Like it's like the middle of the morning, and like I'm thinking like, what if he gets so like the orgasm is so good, like he kind of like buckles a little bit and he just fucking falls, and then they find him in the fucking like 30 feet down with his dick in his hand, dead. Like he lived he died like he lived with his dick in his hands.
Like Cersei's son.
He wasn't really a sexual deviant.
No, wasn't it the youngest son that jumped out the window there?
Oh yeah, the one that killed himself?
Yeah.
It's like, well, my time is done. He fucking just hopped out the fucking window.
There's like a lot of callbacks to that specific.
And so now, the fucking second, I remember like they had Viserys in episode 8 had to, he was on death's door, and his daughter was begging him because they wanted there was the second house, the other Targaryens. There was a dispute over ownership of the house, or leadership of the Driftwood throne, because the brother of because the Targaryen woman, her cousin, or her dad's cousin, married the guy. So they're not technically Targaryens. They're like Villaners.
Mm-hmm.
And so the leader of that house went into battle. He got sick, and they're not sure he's gonna live. So they're gonna make Rhaenyra's being it's so fucking complicated. So Rhaenyra's son, her second son, because her first son would be king, would be placed leader of the Villanera's house on the Driftwood throne. But her step uncle, I guess her stepdad, her stepdad, because her dad's cousin is her stepmom.
Oh.
Yeah, I know.
It's very complicated.
Yeah. So her stepdad's brother knows that this is not his blood at all. It's not his it's not his nephew's, which was Rhaenyra's husband, her cousin. Now that I think about this out loud, I'm like, God dang.
That family tree is all kinds of fuck.
Okay, all fucking trees branching back into each other. Jesus. And so he does not want that non-nephew or whatever he is to take, like, he does not have Valyrian blood or Valyrian blood. It's like, you know what he is? And by the way, the king decreed that no one is allowed to call these kids or his daughter's kids bastards, or they'll have his tongue.
Yeah.
And like Daemon, Viserys' brother, it's like, say it. And like, so the guy's like, bastards. And he gets his fucking head chopped off. And so now Rhaenyra, after that little squabble, Viserys wants to have dinner with the whole family. So the whole fucking family, his fucking Alicent Hightower, her 2 kids, or her 3 kids, his daughter, her kids, her new husband, his brother. Now that, because his daughter's dating his brother. I'm like, God dang, fucking niece and uncle fucking each other. Yeah, and they're all cool with it. They have this big dinner. Like he's just, Viserys is fucking on death's door. He's like, he stands up like, this is what I want. I just want this to be one big happy family. I don't want any more squabbles. I don't want any more arguments. I don't want any more disputes. This is I just let this old man have, like, that's all he wanted was his family to get along. Except Rhaenyra as the queen. Alicent, his kids would be like royalty too. Everything will be fine. You just have to accept this. And then he fucking leaves, right? And the minute he leaves, they all start fucking fighting. Like, they start having arguments. The fucking Rhaenyra's 2 sons don't like Alicent's 2 sons, because they're basically his uncle. They're basically their uncles.
Yeah.
Alicent's because they're half brothers.
Yeah,
Rhaenyra, yeah.
So it'd be like half uncles.
Yeah, but they're all close to the same age, so they all can't fucking stand each other. I know one of them is like, hey cousin, or no, hey nephew. Here you're getting married to by the way, oh God, I just realized Daemon's also married into the Valyrian family. Married one of their daughters, who was like 12 at the time. Well, she was like 30, like, because they jumped like a bunch of years.
Yeah.
And she ends up dying in childbirth, and he's got two daughters with her. And so he betroths both daughters to Rhaenyra's 2 sons. So they go back into the family pool.
That gene pool ain't got very much, like, fucking, I think it's small. It's like
it doesn't have much fucking diversity in there.
No. It's like a kiddie pool.
The fucking second Viserys dies in episode 9, right? He does it at the end of episode 8. Fucking Otto Hightower, Alicent's father, gets together with the small council, and it turns out they had secretly been making plans to make Aegon king the minute he died. I'm like, man, you traitorous motherfuckers. Like, the fucking second he died, they were already fucking putting Aegon on the throne.
So it's like, what's his name from Game of Thrones? Damn it, what was the little conniving son of a bitch?
What, Littlefinger?
Yes.
Nah.
Kind of like that.
It was always doing something. I guess in Game of Thrones, technically, if we're being like legitimate, right, it would have to be Stannis Baratheon. Robert's brother would be the legitimate claim to the throne. Yeah. Because Joffrey and all those 3, they're all Jaime's kids.
Yes.
So all that lie. I swear, man. You good? So, where was I?
Stannis would be
he would be the legitimate heir to the throne.
Yeah.
But of course, the Lannisters didn't accept that. That's what and they killed Ned Stark. So that's what led to the freaking war anyway. And so now, they tried to. So now at the episode 10, they're all consolidating their power because they're about to go to war. And so Rhaenyra sends her second son, to go to Storm's End and meet with a Baratheon. And by the way, this motherfucker can't read. He brings him a letter, right, from his mom, the queen.
Yeah.
Because they name her. They do a ceremony for Aegon, and named him king at King's Landing. They do another one for Rhaenyra a Dragonstone and name her queen. So now they're both. So now it's a civil war. Either way whatever way you look at it, when you name both of them,
Both
the heir to the heir, it's
yeah.
time to time to duke it out. And so, she sends her second son to go meet with Boros Baratheon and ask him to readmit his oath, because basically they're going on the they all took the knee for Otto and Aegon, because they had pretty much like either you take the knee or you end up getting hanged,
Right.
and a lot of them took the knee. Like fucking, I was so mad at like fucking cowards. It's like I swore an oath and I ain't gonna take a knee to nobody, and or back out on my word. But all of them backed out on their word. So she's trying to affirm who will remain faithful. Of course, the Stark would, because they try to get Craig Stark to reaffirm his oath, and so they want to see if the Baratheon will too. So her son goes there on his dragon. He gets there, and unfortunately, Aemon Targaryen is there, which is the second son of Alicent, and he's actually the more formidable one. Like Aegon is the lazy, like he's like the Joffrey, like the sexual deviant,
Right.
wants to party. Well, I guess Joffrey wasn't a sexual deviant; he was just a deviant. He was a general,
Yeah.
But Aegon's more like a party animal, like said, take women.
So like a Robert Baratheon.
Well, he wasn't violent with them.
Not violent, but he loved to party.
Yeah, and
didn't care as much for the throne as everybody else did.
Yeah, Aegon didn't care at all. He didn't want to. He actually tried to escape when he found out he was going to be king, but his brother caught him. And so Aemon's the more formidable one. Like he's a solid dragon rider. He also has the biggest dragon in all of the world, Vhagar. Fucking dragon is huge compared to if you they actually saw the comparison between one and the other, like fucking 4 times the size of a regular dragon.
Oh damn.
He's old too. And so the second son, I don't even know his name. So the second son of Rhaenyra gets there. He lands his dragon in the courtroom or the courtyard, and he sees Vhagar in the distance, just chilling in the back, just big as fuck. So he's like, "Fuck, Aemon's here," and yeah, Aemon's in the fucking courtroom or the throne room, because all the houses are technically royalty, but they're not royalty. I don't know what to say. I guess what would be under royalty? I guess regal.
It's still royalty,
right? But they're not really kings, but they still have their own thrones and stuff. They all own their own land.
Yeah.
And so, but they all have to, swear.
So kind of like a viscount.
Yeah, basically, yeah, or like a fiefdom, maybe. Where they're all sort of like
because you have the main Targaryens where it's like almost like an emperor.
Yeah.
And then you have the subsidiary.
They're all technically kings in their own right.
Kind of like their own little fiefdoms.
I guess, yeah, because like the people under them would not do anything without their leadership.
Mm-hmm.
So you couldn't just take people from their soldiers without the consent of their specific lord. I guess they're lords, yeah. So it's kings and lords.
Yeah,
that's what they're lords basically. So he brings a letter to Boros Baratheon, and this motherfucker cannot read because he gets the maester to come in and read it for him. But you can't even read. That actually made me mad.
Illiterate.
Yeah, you illiterate. You can't be illiterate and be a leader.
Can't be illiterate and be royalty.
That just fucking made me mad. It's like, what's to say? Where the hell's the maester? So he reads it to him, and he doesn't offer the queen doesn't offer anything to him. She wants him to reaffirm his oath, but Aemon had already offered to marry one of his daughters, and so he's like, so it's basically like a dead end with him. So I don't know if he's gonna break the oath or not, but he has the son of Rhaenyra's leave. So before he could leave, Aemon, back when they were kids, he had gotten into a fight with her 2 sons, Rhaenyra's sons, and the 2 daughters of Daemon, because during the funeral of Daemon's wife from the Valanir family, he had gone there. Vhagar used to be her dragon, their mom's dragon, and Aemon had found the dragon out in the fucking island by himself, and he claimed it as a new rider. So they got into a bit of a fight with the kids. They were all kids at the time, and he lost his fucking left eye. They got fucking his left eye chopped off. And so he wants an eye for an eye. So he wants her second son to lose an eye. I think he was just messing around with him because Boros Baratheon stops the little altercation and has his guards lead the kid out. He leaves on his dragon, but he gets chased by Aemon and Vhagar, and they lose control of their dragons, both of them. The kid's dragon shoots fire at Vhagar. Vhagar fucking flips and fucking eats him. Like, eats the dragon and kills the kid. And Aemon's like, fuck. Because he did not mean to do that. Like, you can really tell, like, in his eyes, like, he's like, oh, no. Like, he was just fucking with the kid, it seemed like.
Yeah.
But he lost control. Like, you can't do that. Sometimes you can't control a dragon.
Right.
Sometimes when you're too low of a level, you can't control a Pokemon.
Yes.
You can't control.
You can't control your Charizard.
Yeah, sometimes you can't. And so they both lost control of their dragons because it was storming. They were, in conflict with each other, the two dragons. So they just fucking lost full control of them. Plus, they have to speak of them. They have to speak of the dragon in High Valerian because they don't. That's the only command that they know. They don't understand like Westerosi.
Yeah.
And the High Valerian sounds really cool when they talk. So it's like their own made up language. For the series. So the fucking the big ass fucking dragon just eats this other one, eats it. Like, just enough, it's just big enough to get its entire body, and the fucking wings just fucking rip off. So like they just fucking fly, and Aemon's like just looking around like, well, so basically this son is now the first casualty in the Civil War, and that's the end of season 1. And I'm like, man, Aemon, you really fucked up on this one.
Fucked up pretty badly too.
One of the worst things I don't like is that they don't make them relatable. Like, they're clearly leaning toward Rhaenyra and the Blacks. The Black Claws.
So you can get...
I don't mean to sound racist. That's what they're called. The greens and the blacks.
Your mind went there, not mine. But yeah, like they're trying too hard to kind of lean in that direction of storytelling.
They make them the good guys, right? They try to make the greens the bad guys. But like they never really did. They did that sort of in Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm.
But at a certain time, you sort of started relating with them. And you started to like some of them, like Tywin Lannister was interesting.
Yeah.
And even Joffrey as a bad guy was compelling.
Yeah.
But like they're doing too much leaning for the Greens to be that bad. Like I feel like they should humanize them a little bit more.
Yeah, because even in Game of Thrones, like you were supposed to sympathize more with the Starks than anybody else.
Right. But man, I hate Sansa. Can I stand Sansa Stark?
She's a bitch.
Yeah.
And gullible as a motherfucker.
They tried to make her like fucking like some sort of like Queen of Parent.
Yeah.
Like the season 8 and 7. I'm like, where was this Sansa from the whole series?
And then they turned what's her name into a little fucking assassin.
Arya?
Yeah, Arya Stark. Like where somehow she was like the greatest assassin ever. Like,
well, I guess she did build up to it little by little.
I'll say that they at least,
but she did get too like high leveled at the end of the series, like without like that too much training.
Yeah,
like they should have they just like completely like closed down her whole fucking emotional spectrum.
Yes,
like I'm just serious all the time now. Instead of just giving her like actual like making her character still believable.
Right. It's like I don't know. They
I hated how they ended the series with Bran. I'm king now. Like when was this supposed to? I was so fucking livid. When at any point in the whole series did they even indicate that Bran was going to be a king?
They really made Daenerys lose her mind
for no reason.
For no reason,
just like at the last drop of the hat.
Yeah, like where she's just a pure psycho.
Like the fucking bells drove her insane.
Yeah, it was weird. On top of that, like throughout the entire series, they were kind of leaning for you to have sympathy for her as well, like for the whole thing.
Yeah.
But she had a motive for most of the things that she was doing, and then they just like jumped off that cliff and
like, fuck it, man, let's get the season over with. Get those Starbucks cups and put them on the table.
It was just it was a very weird ending.
So yeah, so the whole season of House of the Dragon there's not a lot of like physical like conflicts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which I find okay if there's enough compelling the other way, because there was so much politicking, and so, like I was like half chubbed the whole movie or the whole series. I'm like, I just fell in love with like the actual like the scheming and the plotting and just the goings on, to the point that I started playing this game I have on my Nintendo Switch. It's like I could probably lead a country better than they can, and it's called Suzerain or Suzy Rain. I don't know how it's Suze, and then just the actual Rain, Rain, but it's all one word, and it's 100% a fucking president simulator, like a legit like president simulator that I was not expecting. Like I'm talking to my fucking Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, and like I was like, let me be a leader. And I'm like, oh, wait a
You
minute.
fucked it all up, didn't you?
Like, this is real leadership. Like, because they're telling me, like, so our GDP is $310 billion, right?
Yeah.
Or and they're like, it's like Sorosi Ren is their fucking currency.
Yeah.
But our fucking debt is 410 billion. And I'm like, God dang. They're telling me unemployment rates at staggering 16% with inflation at 7%.
Oh, fuck.
I'm like, they're telling me that the reason they couldn't put a fucking police station in this fucking city was because there was a government boundary dispute. And I'm like, wait a minute, this is like real presidential.
It's like, this shit difficult.
Like, this is like legit. So like, so I started playing that. Like I want to be now. Like now I want to be a fucking leader. Like I want to be a king. I want to fucking learn swordsmanship and ride dragons and fucking learn history so I can be prepared to take the throne when it's my time. You know what I mean? Like it gets you in that type of mood.
No, then you'll just eventually be like King Charles, where you're like 90 before you finally get to take over.
Oh yeah.
There's that meme where it's like, do I get to be king now when he's a little kid and he's still asking that at like the age of 90?
Fucking 77 years old. Like, is it now? Is it time now?
Not yet.
Because his mom wouldn't let it go. He's like, oh, man.
But if you noticed, everything kind of really went off the deep end for them as soon as she passed away.
Man, well, she was like the...
Like, did you see that portrait they made of him? Shit's blood red. Like, the fuck is that?
That's the choices they make, I guess. But she was really like... she was like a pop culture icon at that
Yeah.
point. She's been around for so long.
And she really didn't do a lot. Like, she wasn't like...
They're not really much for... Aren't they just like a figurehead?
No.
Do they have any leadership?
Technically, like they say that they have the... that they're symbolic
Mm-hmm.
royalty, which is kind of true. But if you ever look into the actual, like, the government setup for England, they have the final say-so of everything still. So technically they could dissolve parliament and everything and take over if they wanted to.
I doubt it. I don't think they would.
I don't think the
fuck-
citizenry...
Yeah, everyone always thinks like the government could just like up and end something and you don't realize the actual uprising.
Right.
Like,
But like legally, like
when I
paperwork-wise,
become president of Mexico,
the cartels will all be out there.
they better not. By the way, it's like 8 years in Mexican presidency.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's not 4. You got 8 fucking years. You get 60. If you back to back, you get 16 years. Like, God dang.
That's a long ass time.
That's basically one term. That's basically 2 terms in America. One time.
That's a long fucking time.
You can do a lot in 8 years.
Yeah,
Or do nothing in 8 years.
true. You can do either though. But imagine voting and then they suck really, really bad.
You got 8
Like,
long fucking years.
It's like you're like 6 months in. It's like, fuck, we got 7.5 more years.
Man.
That would suck though, kind of. I mean, I get it. It'd be kind of, I don't know, it'd be nice and bad in both respects to have an 8-year president because they actually have time that they're not worried about, but make it one election. Like you
Only get one term.
right, one term, but it's 8 years automatically.
Well, that's a lot of years.
It is, but then again, 2-term presidents,
Maybe we should have done that. Like in one term president from now on.
one term, but 8 years. And the reason I say 8, like, or even say 5 or 6, like you knock it down to where it's like 6 years, say 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
One term, 6 years, but 6 years, it's not so long that they can mess too much up,
Right.
but it's long enough to actually put whatever plans they were voted to do
Right.
into place.
I decided to start reading a biography on every president,
Mhm.
and I realized how much harder it's going to get later, further into the future, because like Barack Obama is still alive, and
Yes.
so it's not really a biography if he's still doing stuff.
Yes.
So far, I have the George Washington, like 800 pages, one thick ass biography. I got a book for John Adams.
Mhm.
I actually have 2 because he wrote a bunch of stuff.
Mhm.
So I have his book and I have his biography by they're both the George Washington and the John Adams are both Pulitzer Prize winning books.
Yeah.
So I made sure to get the best ones.
Jefferson.
Jefferson's third.
Mhm.
I haven't got him yet. I kind of skipped
Remember,
though.
there would be no swivel chair without him.
No what?
Swivel chair?
Swivel chair.
Yeah. He's the one that
Swivel chair.
he invented it.
You got what? He got bored. He like, if I could just spin this motherfucker, I would be fucking set for life. I have Ulysses S. Grant's memoirs, but reading their actual stuff, but I also read their biography.
Yeah.
So their stuff doesn't kind of count because I have something called the Portable John Adams. It's just all his writings.
Mhm.
Plus I have his biography, and I have fucking 3 books on my favorite president, Good old Teddy
I
Roosevelt.
was getting ready to mention him.
Yeah.
The dude that gets shot and he gives a 90-minute speech.
Like, fuck this shit. I got shit to do. Let me finish this speech up real quick. fucking sucks the bullet out himself. That's my boy right
That
there.
dude was built different.
He was built. He was in his 50s and he was traveling the Amazon wilderness
I know.
with his son. And the only reason it was bad, the expedition, so bad that his son had to drag him out or he would have died there. He's like, I ain't dying this motherfucker. Give me a Jaguar to fist fight.
The dude was crazy, but like in a good type of like leadership way.
Exactly, man. He used to have fucking boxing matches on the White House lawn.
I know.
And the only reason he quit is because this fucking military guy that he fought hit him so hard in his left eye, he lost a little bit of vision. And he's like, I'm blind enough as it is. I can't lose any more eyesight. He got hit so fucking hard, he's like, I'm done. That's a president.
You know you're like kind of badass whenever anime makes you into like a stereotypical character like that, like Escanor from
Is that supposed to be modeled after?
think about it, it is.
That's kind of is. The same mustache.
Yeah, it's the Teddy Roosevelt of like anime characters.
You know, he went. He dove into a sunken ship to retrieve two revolvers that became his icon weapons. The real life is wild, huh?
I know. Imagine watching Joe Biden or Trump do that.
I imagine Joe Biden fucking diving fucking 300 feet and he pulls out a fucking musket like, what's up?
I mean,
You see fucking Donald Trump like fucking skinning a deer on the fucking Oval Office. Like,
I know.
just caught this deer.
Like I could never think of any like modern president doing any of those things. Going back, even Barack Obama, George Bush, Bill Clinton, I couldn't see any of them doing it.
Wait till I'm president. I'll bring it back like a fucking beast.
You'll be spit roasting a pig though, because you're Mexican.
My
You'll
fucking
dig out one of those like underground like fire pits, just roast the pig and banana leaves and shit.
but you fist fighting mountain lions in the woods.
You go out to the Rockies.
I come back, the Secret Service all fucking pale white, and I fucking got a claw mark across my chest and a jaguar over my shoulder. So I caught this some bitch.
That would be
I do have a fantasy of being so city oriented.
Mhm.
I have a fantasy of being like a good old fucking mountain man. But then I realized, like, is that a fucking Spidey? It's like the duality of your personality, right?
Yeah.
Like the person you feel like you want to be, and the person you
You
really are.
really are. Yeah.
Like if I just hop on a fucking horse and go fucking like horseback riding on the.
And then you look at the horse like that's kind of high up there.
Like I wonder if like I could like just like reinvent myself into the fucking good old mountain man. The fucking outdoors. I got my fucking 6-shooter. I can fucking pull out my gun in 0.5 seconds.
You got your 6-shooter, you got your hatchet, you got
I got my fucking fish scale cowboy boots. My fucking sombrero.
some.
Named Pancho Villa.
Just you'd be the person where it's like I ain't going to the desert. It's like fuck you. It's hot out there.
Just to be out in the wilderness by myself. If I hear some creepy noise and I'm like, I guess I'm done. I'm going home.
Although you got to get better than when we went down to the
Yeah, I was fucking dying. Probably not the best to be wearing the worst fucking clothes for hiking.
Yeah.
Fucking jeans and a fucking tee. I should have been wearing shorts and like fucking, I don't know. If I fixed all my medical problems, just go out there and fucking live the wild.
Yeah.
Then come back and be a fucking rootin' tootin' mountain man.
Rootin' tootin' mountain man.
Be a good fucking, be a gunslinger or something. Be something new. Pow, pow. Go fucking dive into a fucking sunken ship and pull out some fucking gold, doubloons.
Oh, have you seen those? That reminds me. Have you seen those videos off of I think it was Florida area where those sharks are attacking people out there?
I'll fight a shark with my bare hands.
It's like gruesome though. Like
Bet it is.
you know the shit comes up on X obviously, but like there's a lady that's got like a half moon shape taken out of her calf.
Ouch.
Shit's just twitching.
You know what people don't realize? I guess because so they in their head, right? They can fist fight a bear, right?
Yes.
And I used to have that same type of like thought, like, man, if it was like just me and then like if I had no choice, right, I'd have to win fight against a bear, right?
Yeah.
But then I saw a bear run at full speed. And I was like, God damn. Because it's big, right? But damn,
It
that
moves
motherfucker can move. And that told me right there, 800 pounds fucking steamrolling toward you is game over.
You're dead.
Better start fucking running back.
Like those people that think that buffalo are all nice and docile and shit.
Cave your skull in.
Well, they're big enough and they're heavy enough they can derail a steam engine.
Damn, big boys.
And they used to. Back whenever there was like 50 million of them on the Great Plains.
Is it legal to hunt buffalo?
Not on reserves, no.
Mm.
You can raise them. You can actually raise them as cattle.
Oh, cool.
That's why you can have bison, like bison meat and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you can actually domesticate them, yeah.
It's so weird. Like, I feel like I want to be a hunter,
Mhm.
but at the same time, my PETA personality, it's like hurting poor animals for no reason.
And then you, but see, you can't be true PETA because then you go eat a burger.
Exactly. At the same time, like, I'm conflicted. Goddamn duality of man. I love animals, and I see cows, and they're all nice, and then I gotta have a hamburger. I'm like, fuck, how do I
Or like,
rationalize this?
just
you know?
eat chicken. They're little bastards anyway.
So like I want to hunt deer or hunt a crocodile or something,
Mhm.
and then like the deer's like
You see it and it's like, fuck.
right, like I wouldn't do it and just like fucking leave like done, I'm done. Like you actually or like like that guy that hunted that wolf and left him in that bar dying. I'm like that's fucked up.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know. It's like so my duality of like there's a real fucking turmoil in the person I am and the person I want to be.
It's like Two-Face. You got two sides.
Like I want to be fucking Arthur Morgan from Red Dead Redemption 2, but at the same time, I still want to like. One of them's gonna win. Hopefully, the right one does.
It'll be the mountain man that wins.
It's starting to feel like it. If I could really fucking fix my body, man, I'll be out there just fucking climbing Mount Everest.
Hey, as long as you don't play Boogie 2889, I think is the hashtag, where he faked cancer.
That fat fuck.
Yeah.
I never liked him because he's such a fucking liar.
Boogie? Yeah.
Yeah, Boogie.
Well, he would fake cancer for like a year.
I think he does that all the time. He does like ailments and stuff
Yeah.
to get sympathy for people.
Yes. Like,
Didn't he fucking pull his dick out on a live stream?
yeah, I think he did. Yeah.
There was so much like
Fat, yes.
that was
You
no
couldn't
dick.
do nothing. Yeah. He's also the one that put out a documentary on himself saying that,
Yeah, like it cost me this to have a portion. And I'm like,
well, and also that he, like where he was going out with this, a prostitute and she slept with him one night and she quit the job in the industry.
damn.
It was so bad.
I never liked. I don't know. I think he just seems like an asshole. Or like no, what he does is like
No, he's like a Cartman level like fat guy, like where you know how Cartman acted during that like World of Warcraft series,
no, when he was like just huge.
huge and an asshole.
Well, I don't know. Like I didn't mean to call him a fat fuck, like being like a body shaming, but like
It's fine. I'm fat, so it's cool.
not that. It's just that I mean to say like
He
personality is just like he's like one of those like victim
victim mentality card. Yes.
yeah like
Yes.
like everything he does is like he's the victim
What was me?
and he wants
Yes.
the sympathy
Yes.
and that's why I don't.
He also just got people involved in a crypto scam. He also just got like, there's a guy named Jeremy that he's the quartering.
Mhm.
Like he used to cover Magic the Gathering and stuff like that, but he's like he described it as a frenemy situation with Boogie because he knew him for a long time and he's known him for a long time, and he would give him some sympathy where it's like, you know what, he's mentally not there, whatever, where he'd have a little bit of conversation with him or something like through DMs and stuff.
Yeah.
But like he said this last night, it's like, dude, I can't do this shit no more. He's like, I can't have sympathy for somebody that is this fucking stupid. Like, and it like he's not.
It doesn't seem stupid. Like I feel like he knows exactly what he's doing.
I think he does, but it's like a not mentally stupid, but action oriented stupid.
Oh,
So like where you're just doing stupid shit, where you lie to people constantly. Like I don't know how he does it, but yeah, he faking cancer too now, and he got called out on one of these streams that he was up on, where they're like, "I'll pay you." Between all of them, they'll pay him $80,000 to prove that he has cancer. Well, I can't do that because I don't want my information out there. And he claims he's broke.
yeah.
But they're offering
seen a
$80,000.
few of those before.
But they're offering $80,000 for him just to show the paperwork, like not personal information really, just his name and the diagnosis of cancer. That's it. Like who would, if you were suffering from cancer and you had no money, and they're offering you 80 just to show a paper saying, Boogie whatever is diagnosed with cancer, whatever his real name is, because I can't remember. But like it's not that hard to get a doctor's note even to say yes, he has cancer.
Get a fucking a fake doctor to come in and pretend.
No, I couldn't even do that. I couldn't even put in the effort Like, he's so good at like leading people on through these scams and shit. Or can y'all just send me $1?
$1.
Just $1? Like, come on
I
now.
hate that fake victim stuff.
I've lost all respect for people that do that now, where it's like, I'm a victim. Like the world is out to get me at some point. It's like,
Yeah, I hate that.
no, it's not. Like, yeah, everybody has dealt a hand of cards.
This motherfucker has like millions of subscribers on YouTube or something.
I know, and he tries to scam these people every fucking time.
It's like you're doing better than all of us.
Like he said, I'm going to delete all my social media. He still has his YouTube up. Like, because we know that this thing is trying to make money again.
Right.
So, like, come on now. Like, the whole, like, the faking anything is annoying anyway, but the whole victim mentality shit has got to end at some point. Like I said, everybody's dealt a hand of cards. Some people get bad hands.
We get the fucking royal flush.
Yeah. But everybody can do something. Like, you can have a horrible hand in poker and you can still win.
Am I gonna bluff my way through it?
Yeah.
I guess.
But you can do it.
I can try.
I'm just saying, like, the possibilities are not set in stone. There's at least chance involved in a lot of things. There's effort in a lot of things.
Yeah, on my back.
There's effort in your back hurting.
There's a bad bed that I had to fix.
See, but you could be on here. Can y'all send me $1 for a new bed?
I just want a little bit of fucking comfort. These cold nights. Send me a good old safe shooter. I gotta do a high noon.
You gotta do
Pow. Pow, pow. Be a rugged mountain man.
go out there. It'd be funny if during the Old West, if they had the whole thing where it's like, we're gonna have a duel, and it's like, the duel.
They fucking pull out the fucking little carry ones. They come out of nowhere.
Oh, that'd be so fucking hilarious. Do a parody of that. We're gonna have a duel at high noon.
I summon.
Your move.
Oh man. I remember someone said like in dueling, like there's not really a high noon duel. It's like I guess if I was in the Old West and like some guy was like, I'm gonna kill you, meet me back here at noon tomorrow, I'd probably just shoot him right then and there.
Yeah.
Might as well get it over with. The minute he fucking turns his back, blow his fucking head off.
Like, what does it matter? What does it matter to you at that point?
Fuck the honors.
Fuck the honor. Nobody cares about the honor.
Oh, I'm a Loki character. Come out on top because I outthink everybody. Like, so when we dueling? We're dueling tomorrow at noon. All right. And he fucking turns around. So much for dueling tomorrow at noon.
Or if you don't want to kill him, like right away, it's like kneecap. It's like, we'll see you walk out there then.
Nah, I wouldn't chance it if he turns around and fucking starts blasting back. It's like, oh, my kneecap took turn. And we just have a fucking shooter at the bar. The bartender's like, don't do this again, Jeremiah. Don't have another shootout in my... There was one story about these two guys that hated each other.
Mhm.
They kept trying to kill each other. And one would get the upper hand and hurt the other one. But that guy would survive. And then he'd come back, hurt him. He would survive. Eventually, one of them was like, fuck it. He catches the guy, ties him to a fucking fence post, and then he shoots all his limbs and then finally in the head to make sure he died. So he's like fucking arms, legs, cock, stomach, headshot. I'm like, he had to make sure because they were dueling like fucking, they were like shooting each other like every other day. And so he's like, let me just fucking settle this once and for all.
And then he's John Wick and he gets back up again.
Man, that's like, it's so weird. Like, it's so weird. Like, if you just read a lot of history books,
Yeah.
you have enough information for it. People, if you put it in a fucking movie, they'll think you're a fucking genius. Like, how did he come up with this stuff? Like, I don't. I just steal it from history.
All I'm doing is telling history stories.
Yeah, I'm basically just retelling history stories in a fictional setting. Because I mean, like, read a lot of history. That's weirder than real life sometimes.
A lot of times.
Yeah,
What is it? Truth is stranger than fiction sometimes.
it's no joke. It's true. I'm gonna start reading a bunch of history books to make my movies better. Just steal half of the shit there. Because like that family stuff, like in Game of House of Dragons, right?
Yeah.
That's just like, the story,
Through royalty things,
stuff they've been doing forever.
just different names, and
He just like, I'm sure George R.R. Martin
the myopic manatee.
just read a bunch of fucking history books on medieval like England and stuff.
Yeah.
And just like, he had a good idea, like he tweaked it to fit a fantasy setting, and there you go.
Very true.
So all you gotta do is just, really like learn the history of your world, and then you can reinvent it into a fictional world.
Mhm.
Same with like science fiction, like really study actual scientific breakthroughs and scientific theories,
Mhm.
and you can rework them to fit a sci-fi story. Like instead of making random shit up.
That's what I liked about Stargate. A lot of things that happened in Stargate, like where the episodes would center around some kind of new technology that they found, and explaining it. But there's a lot of scientific like thought put into the show.
Yeah.
I know Star Trek. I haven't watched Star Trek.
So I've been trying to read more nonfiction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can read a lot of things.
Yeah. I've been trying to. Got that YouTube.
It's like a portal that sucks you in.
Yeah, like I can't get away from it. Like a fucking black hole. I'm stuck at the goddamn center of it.
Just all this information flowing around you.
Like it's like if you could if I could shut off the YouTube watching, like the binge watching,
Mhm.
and just like solely focus on reading books and like learning, how to write better and learn English grammar and more vocabulary, and just like understanding like actual like if I wrote a movie about like ancient Egypt,
Mhm.
where like a treasure hunter is trying to find Cleopatra's tomb or something, like if I knew more about Cleopatra, I could make him feel more authentic.
Mhm.
And instead of just making shit up randomly. And then she actually used to carry a dildo that was 18 inches long.
Oh, I've seen that episode of The Boys. Oh my God.
Like I did that. It's like if I just made that up right, but she actually she tried to make a vibrator out of like bees. I think. I don't know if that's true or not. I have to read it. Cleopatra, girl's a freak.
She also wrapped herself up into a rug to fuck Mark Antony.
Oh yeah, they threw her out. She's like, ta-da!
What's funny is there's an anime that they actually use that trope in, because it's a guy that gets summoned to another world. Obviously, that happens all the time in anime. But it's called The Realist Hero Saves the Kingdom or something like that, because he's not like overly powered in like magical abilities or anything. He brings his like realist ideas to this world, like where it's like I think it was towards the end of the first season, where this girl that's trying to get herself married to him basically at the end, and there's a guy, he's like, I offer you these rugs, will you take these rugs as a true gift? And he's like, she's hiding in there, ain't she? She's like, how did you know that?
Which one's she in?
Exactly.
Okay, sees her feet sticking out on the back end.
Well, he's like, yeah, in my world that actually happened with Cleopatra.
Yeah.
So it's like they take some of the little elements and put them into the anime itself, like little historical facts and stuff like that.
That's cool. I like when there's actual history stories or little, stuff like that. I love that.
Like he teaches them agriculture, like that you're supposed to rotate your crops and stuff like that. And like that. That's why it's called realist, because he's just a realist,
right? Like that story I told you about the guy, the people that fell into that fucking vat of shit.
Yeah.
Can't make that up.
No.
Man. Just down in a fucking ocean of shit.
Oh, that'd be horrible. That'd be a horrible way to go.
Yeah, like you try to pull yourself up, right? You take a deep breath and just a whole fucking log.
Oh, that's so horrible.
I guess I gotta read more history. I gotta put away my fiction books for the time.
For the time being.
Because like Stephen King says, like he reads only fiction because he's a storyteller.
Yeah.
And I realize if I gotta read fiction too to also understand storytelling.
Yes.
So I can't just leave fiction completely out of the.
But then nonfiction for the true life.
Nonfiction for the knowledge, and fiction for the storytelling element, or learning how to be a better storyteller.
Yeah.
I just gotta fucking drop the fucking YouTube. I gotta throw my TV out the window, basically.
Get a hammer and just break it.
My goal was to read 300 books this year. I'm at 2.
You're trying to play Cat Williams and say you read $300 or 300 books?
The only difference is I'm gonna actually record the book I wrote, so I can actually legit prove
You can't. You know what? I read like 1,000
I
books
had like
in a year.
6,000 books in one afternoon on a Tuesday.
It's like, sure you did. Okay.
No, you don't talk like a man that's read a lot of books. Like I don't want to sound like an asshole. Like you don't talk like.
He read the Emerald Tablet. Remember that?
I was reading this book, and I found out that you know we get cancer every day.
But your body filters it out.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I was like,
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah. What happens like when you actually considered diagnostically cancerous?
It's unfucking controllable.
Exactly.
Just starts mutating in your body.
Because your DNA's it gets messed up by radiation every day.
Yeah. I was like, damn. Fucking wrote that down.
Just something like a little tidbit of knowledge.
Yeah, I like to keep stuff like that.
Yeah.
Makes me happy. Makes me hard.
That's information we didn't need. That's not a tidbit that we wanted. Information makes me horny.
I guess that's it for House of Dragon. Kind of divulged further out. But I'll keep trying my little presidential campaign, see how I do. I'll let you guys know. I guess next week, I know I got to show you guys Cocaine Bear and all this stuff, but I didn't watch those movies. But I guess there was not enough information, so I'm just gonna pick whatever randomly and then talk about it instead of telling you guys beforehand.
Yeah.
Because I might change my mind, or it might not be as good as I thought.
That'd probably be the smartest thing anyway, because,
The next day is like something different.
yeah, it's fine. It's fine.